Hey, happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. Hey, I'm Brian Paleska. Josh is here with me.
Hey,
Usually we usually are a little more
enthusiastic.
enthusiastic, but as you saw right at the beginning of the show, we lost a great legend in the sport of NASCAR at 41 years old, the great Kyle Busch. As you guys were able to see at the beginning of the show, I was able to get those pictures so I could show you guys at the beginning of the show. So I do have that actually in the show today. But first we will get to what we're going to talk about when we're going to do hit topics today. We'll get to those obviously, and then I'll tell you guys what's going on with the show. And at the end of the show, you usually do our draft thing as a special, but today we won't because it's not as big.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and if you guys are hearing Josh's voice, not too hot today, but God bless him that he was able to do the show with us today.
I'm not sick. It's just a voice.
Right. So, again, happy Memorial Day weekend to everybody. Wouldn't say it is as happy as it should be, considering the circumstances. But I think if we know the NASCAR world, they're going to make this as happy as it can be.
Yeah.
So let's get into the show. Let's talk about what we have going on today. I tell you what, it is nice to have this tablet.
It's a little more organized too.
Way more organized. So obviously, I want to do one thing before we get the show started. I'd like to take about 15, 20 seconds and have a moment of silence for Kyle Busch. Can we do that? Yeah. Absolutely. So we're going to do that right now with a moment of silence for Kyle Busch. Thank you. So obviously, let's talk about our hot topics, our touch top topics today. So we're going to get right into the touch topics. So today we have UFL, which is good because now that's starting to turn the volume up because we're getting closer to playoff time. I think we're in either week 9 or week 8 or 9, one of the two. Might be in the last week. I don't know. I haven't really had much chance to watch it. And then I'll have him look it up. We're going to do I know they're usually out there, and we're getting to that point now that we're at Memorial Day weekend. The unofficial kickoff this summer, we are going to be looking at the way too early college top 25 for football. Right. And we'll talk about that, discuss that, break it down.
Oh, yeah.
We will play, we're going to play a game with that. It's called Too High, Too Low, or Right Where They Should Be.
Right.
So we'll get to that. Yep. And then the third thing I wanted to get to today, which Josh agreed with me on this, is there is still a good chunk of NFL free agents left.
There are.
Okay? A lot of big names. Okay? We're going to talk about that, and we are going to break down where we feel these guys could go. And we'll just break down some of the big names, feel like where they could go. You know, like the Joe Alpatonios, obviously David Njoku finally found a home. You know, we'll talk about that. And then to get into our main part of our show today, obviously, I think with it being the circumstances that it is, we will talk about. I'm going to start off with a special Kyle Busch segment. Okay. I'm going to go in, break down his numbers, I know all of you pretty much know what the man's final words were when he won the truck race at Dover last weekend, but I'll go over that. Josh and I are going to put Kyle Busch where we feel he ranks all time amongst all NASCAR drivers. Okay. And then that's going to lead us into the actual NASCAR segment itself. And I have, obviously, Watkins Glen. I have the Dover race, which Dover was the all-star race and no points. So, and then it is obviously a mass motorsports weekend. It's all tomorrow. Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 from Charlotte. Amen. And then, obviously, there's a Formula One race tomorrow as well. So, like I said, when I'm talking big motorsports weekend, you've got IndyCar, Formula One, and the Cup Series all on the same day.
Yep.
As far as I know, the truck race was delayed. It was supposed to start at 8 o'clock. I don't know if they're running it right now or not. And then they have I still call it the Xfinity, but it's the O'Reilly Series.
Yeah.
They're supposed to run this afternoon at 4 o'clock, but there's a 60% chance showers. So, been kind of playing the dodgy raindrops all weekend there in Charlotte, which, poor Kyle, but we lose Kyle Busch, it rains. I mean, that's...
Sums it up.
Right. So, Crew 2 news around the MLS and World Cup news with this guy. Okay. Now, we're going to talk NBA playoffs. We'll catch you guys up on everything because, like I said, it's been a couple of weeks since we've been on. So, we haven't been on since Mother's Day. So, obviously, we are now down to 4. So, we'll get you to this point, of the playoffs. We'll break everything down to get you to today when it comes to the NBA playoffs. Okay, who are the 4 teams left, where the series stand, all that. We'll get to all that. And then we'll talk baseball, as we always do. We love talking baseball. Baseball, we got a lot to get to because we talked about it 2 weeks ago, but we didn't talk about it as heavy as we normally do. So we're going to talk about it pretty heavy today because we're going to talk your Cleveland first place. Cleveland Indians, Guardians, whatever you want to call them. Okay? We're also going to play who's hot, who's not today, which means there's some hot teams.
I'm going to tell you right now, Cleveland's probably on that list.
Don't spoil it. We're going to take a look around the league. We're going to look at the updated standings up to now, okay? And we're going to go over league leaders and hitting, home runs, RBIs. Basically, we're going to go through it all.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Wins, which Gavin Williams is tied for the league lead in wins.
And oddly enough, I think Kate Smith's tied for the league lead in saves.
Yes. So we'll get to all that.
Yep.
And then our final segment. Like I said at the beginning of the show, we were talking. We were going to say this as just a solo thing, but we're not going to this time because it's NBA and it don't take as long to do the NBA. So we'll just add it after the final segment.
Yeah.
But I did make some changes that I didn't let anybody know, and I just let this man know. So our special NBA draft is not current versus retireds. This is going to be our all-time squad. His all-time squad, my all-time squad. A 6th man and a head coach. Yes, we're going to do a head coach to lead this team because head coaches do matter.
Yeah.
Okay? Obviously, you guys know how it all begins. Point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. 6-man head coach.
Yep.
We'll break it down, numbers, championships, all that stuff, and have fun with it. So, big compacted show today. Let's get started. Let's get into what matters, and that is our first touched subject, the United Football League. Well, let's put it this way. I know you love when I do that, right?
Let's put it this way, though. We feel your pain, Columbus. We do.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't have the ESPN app on here.
You should be able to use my...
Okay, what's your thing?
Here.
Go ahead and type that in for me, because I need it. So, when we get going here and get on to ESPN, we will talk some UFL. Now, obviously, our Columbus Aviators are not making the 2026 playoffs. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to start with that right now.
Yeah, we could just kick that off right now. The Aviators have not been... They've been competitive, but they haven't done what we anticipated that they may do with Ted Ginn Jr. at the helm. Obviously, Ted Ginn Jr., great as a player. Great as an Ohio State player. Okay. Great as an Ohio State player. Okay. Great as a head coach. And it's interesting, talking to everybody, around, talking to everybody around the league. I just can't wait to see what, maybe it's just me, but I can't wait to see what Columbus does going into the offseason to maybe improve themselves for next season.
Yeah,
Is there anything?
It was a tough first year, but honestly, they can only go. Obviously, the easiest saying is they can only go up from here.
I think. I mean, let's get realistic. When you talk about teams being down at the bottom, I mean, I wouldn't really say they were at the bottom.
Right. I mean, the standings.
I mean, their bottom standings will say otherwise, and I get that.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, I think when you look at their number, glad you put the Reds up there. Thank you. When you look at them standings wise, yes, they were at the bottom. But I think at the end of the day, I think when you look at them as a team, I felt like competitiveness. Some of the games, yeah, they got blown out.
Yeah.
But I think they were a very, very good, strong, competitive team.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. You
honestly,
watched them a little bit more than I did.
I did watch them a little bit more. Some of the games I did watch, they were for the most part, they were competitive in. Sometimes they, what team doesn't shoot themselves with penalties at times?
Yeah.
So there were some of those.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Excuse me. For the most part, they were pretty competitive. To an extent, except for. They got blown out by somebody, I think.
Yeah.
I know it was one team that was probably a one-off, but it was probably... There's always these factors of...
Always.
These teams are playing so many games in certain days, within certain days, and the UFL will play... They usually play Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Yeah, sometimes they sneak a Thursday game in, too.
Yeah, a Thursday game.
Yep, sometimes they'll sneak a Thursday game in. You'd be... the UFL schedule really amazes me. The UFL schedule, it amazes me. And the reason why it amazes me is because they play, to me they play at the oddest times sometimes.
Yeah, they do.
But I understand why.
Yeah.
They do what they do.
Well, for the most part, obviously, most times they play late at night, and we have first shift jobs, so
right.
We can't stay up late and watch that stuff.
Right. No. And that's the thing at the end of the day. Yeah, but that's the thing at the end of the day. Like, it's interesting that you brought that up because. It's interesting that you bring that up because now that I could finally get in here, Josh is laughing at me. Now that I could finally get in here, so we are on week 9. So let's get right to the standings.
Second to last week.
Listen,
yeah,
love this tablet. Just saying. Thank you, honey, for letting me get this tablet. So I actually have the updated standings right now sitting in front of me, and we're just going to go right down through it. So this is as of week 8. There are some week 9 games left to be played. Let me see before we get to it. We have a game today. Birmingham and the Aviators. Yep. We'll get to that. Renegades Kings tomorrow. Battlehawks Gamblers tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So let's get right to it. So let's talk about the team that's clinched a playoff berth. Orlando Storm. An expansion team.
By expansion, we mean...
Like, hello?
Yeah. I can't remember where they relocated.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great start.
Now, you have the Battlehawks that are the number 2 seed, which I did not expect to happen. But that's being well coached. Okay.
I think this next one will shock both of us.
DC Defenders. They're 5-4 now.
They've been number one for most of the season.
And they have lost 3 in a row. Yeah.
They have the most continuity out of all the teams.
All of them. That's the thing, too, when you look at that. They have probably the most built, put together team, and they're 5-4. And then the mess starts. You guys ready for the mess? I'm just going to go right to I'll go to Houston. So it's Birmingham at 4-4, Louisville at 4-4. Dallas is only a game back at 3-5. Houston's a game back at 3-5. What a mess.
And then your Aviators in last.
Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, that's okay. So, the things I wanted to go over was this. The Orlando Storm do not have the best differential in the league, but they're the number 1 seed.
Right.
The DC Defenders have the best differential, but they're third.
Mm.
Third.
And they've lost 3 in a row.
Right, and lost 3 in a row. The Battlehawks are 5-3, but they only have a plus 13 differential. Where
that tells me their defense is carrying them too a little bit.
The 7-2 Orlando Storm have a plus 40. That's pretty good. So Birmingham has got a minus 19 differential at 4-4. Okay, Louisville, who has turned their season completely around, 4-4. They now are a plus 17. I couldn't believe that. And then Dallas is only minus 25. Now, Dallas is a lot worse than I thought they were going to be this year. And Houston's the other one. Now, they have the worst differential in the league at minus 54. And here's the thing. Let's look at the Columbus Aviators. 2-6. They've put up 153 but given up 188. That's only a minus 35. That's really not that bad.
It's not. Although they've lost their last 2.
So, obviously, they lost last weekend 14-3. They lost to Birmingham.
Yeah, that one puzzled me a little bit.
Right. We'll go over. Let's see. We did this weekend because I remember us talking about the Battlehawks. So we got to do week 8. So the Storm, who improved to 7-2, beat the Renegades 31-24. I didn't think the Renegades would be in the position that they're in. I really didn't. And I just remembered, do you know who Orlando's quarterback is? Jack Plummer.
Yeah.
Yep. Old Jack Plummer.
Jack or Jake?
Jack Plummer. So we'll move on, and this is what we're talking about with the Defenders. They lost to the Kings by 3 points.
Week 8.
Last weekend. Yeah. The Gamblers beat the Battlehawks 23-16, which monumentally me is an upset.
That is an upset. Houston stinks.
Yeah, they do. And then obviously your Aviators lost 14-3. Boo. Boo.
Yeah, of course we play the Stallions again today.
We play the Stallions at 3 o'clock on ABC. The Storm beat the Defenders.
So now they've lost 4 in a row.
Mm-hmm. And then tomorrow, obviously, Renegades Kings at 4 o'clock on Fox. Battlehawks and Gamblers, 7 p.m. on ESPN2. And then let's head to week number 10, since we will not be on. We might be on next weekend because you don't have the boys, so we might push for next weekend. Renegades Battlehawks in a season finale, 8 o'clock on Fox Friday night. Saturday, Gamblers Stallions, 3 o'clock on ESPN2.
Might be a playoff spot.
Potentially. Storm and Defenders, noon on ABC, Sunday, May 31st. And then the Kings and Aviators wrap up the regular season, 6 o'clock on Fox, Sunday, May 31st. Oh, boy. So, might see some playoff spots get wrapped up between this weekend and next weekend.
Yeah.
I just think at this point, that's what we're going to see. Now, the kicker part to this whole thing is I want to see the Aviators maybe win their final couple of games just to give themselves some momentum.
Momentum going in the offseason would be great.
Right. So that's pretty much it for UFL. Obviously, we'll talk playoffs when we get to it. Still got a couple weeks yet before playoff time. Are you ready for the next thing?
Absolutely.
So the next thing is, and you had it up on your phone.
Yep.
I don't have the music for it, but I'm going to do it anyways. The way too early preseason top 25, courtesy of Fox Sports.
Now, keep in mind, this is according to R.J. Young, one of the writers on there, so it doesn't necessarily reflect
our
opinions.
Oh, boy. Yeah, this ought to be good. This ought to be good. Listen, I'm just going to get this out here right now. You really don't want me to do this, do you? I'm not an R.J. Young person. No. But what I do have, believe it or not, so we could go way too early top 26 rankings according to 24/7 Sports. But I don't have, you have R.J. Young's, which is, R.J. Young's is interesting because I'm curious.
Yeah.
So the one that I'll get going, I'll get off of ESPN, and then we'll compare it to R.J. Young's.
That's fair enough.
So this is as of April 14th.
His is as of May 11th.
So, these must be the initial rankings. Okay, that's not the right rankings. So it looks like this is like
ESPN's
up to date ESPN's. So we'll go ahead and we'll have fun comparing. Yeah. So ESPN has theirs up as of April during the spring games. This is a spring update. So they have our Buckeyes as the number one squad in the country right now. Now, here's the deal. That's why I'm doing this. Players lost.
Yeah.
Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Caden Curry, Caden McDonald, Davison Igbinozen, Carnell Tate, and Max Clare.
Only two of those guys were on the offensive side of the ball.
So,
you gotta talk about their key additions.
Let's take a look at all the additions that came in. Earl Little Jr. I remember Earl Little. You remember Earl Little? Played for the Browns.
Yeah.
Earl Little Jr. Came from Florida State. James Smith, Alabama. That's 2 years in a row now we've taken somebody from Alabama. Mm-hmm. That's hilarious.
I like this trend.
Qua Rasaw from Alabama. Looks like a defensive end. We needed it. Or Kua.
Oh yeah, Kua
Rasaw. Terry Moore from Duke. This is the second year now we've gotten a tight end, too. Mm. We got Hunter Welsing from Northwestern. Oh, we got wide receiver Devin McCune from UTSA. John Walker from UCF. And then Christian Algero from Wisconsin. And then, obviously, I think the big one is Chris Henry Jr.
Yep.
I want to see what Chris Henry Jr. does. He's a 5-star receiver. I cannot wait. So their outlook is this. With quarterback Johnny Salem and tailback Bo Jackson and all-world wide receiver Jeremiah Smith returning, the Buckeyes should be back to national championship hunt. OSU's offense is going to be difficult to stop, especially if its offensive line improves. Coach Ryan Day hired former NFL head coach offensive coordinator Arthur Smith to replace offensive coordinator Brian Hartline that received worked on defense. As former NFL defensive coordinator Matt Patricia has turned OSU's unit in one of the top sports best, Ohio State will have to navigate one of the most demanding schedules in the FBS, including games at Texas, Indiana, Nebraska, and USC.
Oh, yeah. It's not going to be easy.
I'll go through the top 5 and give me R.J. Young's top 5. So right now, they have, I'm not going to go through, I'll go through the Buckeyes because that's our team, but I'm not going to worry about reading all this other stuff into it. You want to look it up, ESPN.com. Right now it would be 2 Oregon, 3 Georgia, 4 Notre Dame, and 5 Texas, as it should be. Okay, that is according to ESPN. What does the All-Pro R.J. Young say?
You're not going to believe who he has number 1.
But R.J. Young is interesting.
Yeah, he has the Hoosiers still number 1.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Buckeyes number 2.
I think that's fair.
Georgia number 3.
Okay, so that's perfectly where it needs to be.
Oregon number 4.
So they have Oregon 2.
And Texas number 5.
Okay, so they have Texas 5. So they have Notre Dame at 4. So now I'm curious to see if he even has Notre Dame on his list at all.
6th.
Okay, so yeah. So good that you said that, because ESPN has Indiana 6. Miami 7. Texas 8. Texas Tech 8. Ole Miss 9. This should be interesting because their departures.
It's a lot.
But they were able to get Trinidad Chambliss to get them for another season of eligibility. They had to fight in court to get it, but they ended up getting it. So that is huge to get their quarterback back this year for Ole Miss. I think that may help out. And 10 Texas A&M. Obviously, here we go. A&M still going to be a good team, I think, this year. Even though they lost Casey Conception, they still have Marcel Reed. So give me your, I think, 6 through 10.
Yeah. He was, excuse me, fellas.
Told you he had issues with his voice today.
He has Notre Dame 6, Miami 7,
Okay.
LSU 8, A&M 9, and Oklahoma 10.
Okay, that's interesting because ESPN has LSU 11, BYU 12, Oklahoma 13, and that's despite John Mateer coming back.
Right.
14 Michigan and 15 Penn State.
He has Texas Tech 11, Ole Miss 12, Alabama 13, USC 14, Michigan 15.
Oh boy, this is getting real interesting. ESPN has Alabama 16, Washington 17, Utah 18, Iowa 19, and USC 20.
They only agree on Iowa.
Right.
He has BYU 16, Penn State 17, Missouri 18, Iowa 19, Florida 20.
Okay. ESPN has Louisville at 21, SMU at 22, TCU at 23, Houston at 24, and the Volunteers of Tennessee at 25.
I don't think he lists 2 of your teams that you mentioned there, but he has Washington 21, Clemson 22, SMU 23, Utah 24, Tennessee 24.
Oh, boy. Don't we just love the great R.J. Young? Anyway, so looking at that list, is there anybody you think is ranked too high or too low?
Indiana.
Okay. How high or how low?
Too high.
Okay. Where would you put them?
Well, here's the thing. They lost Fernando Mendoza. They lost an wide receiver. I think they lost a couple defensive pieces.
Mm-hmm.
For now, I honestly would put them outside the top 5 at least right now. Maybe 10th, but that's a stretch. That's a stretch for me.
Okay. So
basically, sorry, Hoosier fans, I want to see you guys prove it because, again, I hold Ohio State to the same standard, and that's they have to prove it to belong.
I think Tennessee's ranked too high. Tennessee lost too much.
They lost a lot.
I don't think Tennessee's a top 25 team right now. And I listen, Vols. You know, I love you. You know, I'm a Buckeye fan. You know, I love Texas and Tennessee all at the same token. But Tennessee, I don't feel in my heart is a top 25 team. They're another one like Indiana. Okay, you top 25, prove it. That's simple.
Yeah. That's all I want.
I think when you look at like we'll kind of break down RJ Young's here. I think RJ Young has Oregon too low. I think Oregon's the second best team in the country.
They weren't bad.
I think Oregon's the second best team in the country. I still think the Buckeyes, I think they could be the best team in the country.
Yeah.
I just got to see their defense. I think their offense is going to be fine. Their defense. I can't stress that enough.
How do you feel about Georgia?
I think they get Gunnar Stockton back this year because Gunnar Stockton, I think, was only a sophomore last year. So I think Georgia's right where they should be, between 3 and 5. I think Georgia's still good enough to be a top 5 team.
Yeah.
Because of why I'm drawing a blank of their head coach's name.
Oh, Georgia?
Yeah. I'm drawing a blank.
Kirby Smart?
Kirby. That's why. Kirby will have his team ready. It's Kirby Smart. Well, what else they got? What else is like? We'll look at this is RJ Young's list, by the way.
Yeah.
I put away ESPN's list.
Yeah, he's got Notre Dame at 6.
I think that's pretty good.
That's actually not bad
because CJ Carr will be back, so I think that's good. You know, he's a true sophomore, so I think that's good. Miami at 7. Okay.
Yeah.
No Carson Beck.
And whoever that defensive guy was.
Yep. I think 7's a little too high. Little too high.
Yeah.
I think they're 10. I think they're going to be 10. LSU remains to be a big question mark because I don't know what their situation is at quarterback. And everybody's just like, oh, well, Lane Kiffin. That doesn't mean Lane Kiffin's there. Great, fine and dandy. They did hire Ed Orgeron on his staff. I don't know yet. I think LSU's too high. Yeah. I think Ed Orgeron. I think right now LSU's too high.
Give me some jumbo gum.
Okay, Orgeron. I think LSU is 15.
Again,
I'd split them in the middle.
Now, I will admit, it feels like they have... Okay, since we're talking about teams here. Yes, they are our rival. It feels like Michigan's this high, but it's only because of Kyle Whittingham's status.
Excuse me, and Bryce Underwood.
Yeah.
I am okay. I think Michigan's 18. And that has no hate against being Michigan. I just think 18 is a good solid spot for them to start.
Yeah.
So I look at this list. I think Alabama's too high for once.
I was about to say Alabama, kind of given the year they had last year.
I say 22. I know that seems probably high or low to a lot of people, but no Ty Simpson.
Right.
He's gone to the NFL. I know they lost that Proctor, that offensive lineman. He's gone. Proctor, yeah. He's gone.
Yep.
And I would have to look and see everything else that they lost.
Yeah.
I think 22 is good because I still think they're a top 25 team.
Honestly, I think Penn State is okay where they're at, but also they have Matt Campbell now, and they've got a new offensive system.
And I feel in my heart where RJ Young has Ole Miss, I think Ole Miss is 9. I think the fact that they brought Trinidad Chambliss back because of the year experience he's got, I think that's going to be huge for them. Yeah. I think Ole Miss is a top 10 team still.
Yeah.
I feel like Texas Tech is probably about good right where they're at. Okay.
Honestly, I didn't think Washington would be this high either.
Neither did I.
In the top 25.
No, neither did I.
I don't think they were on ESPN's list.
I don't think SMU's good enough. Clemson, losing Cade Klubnik. I got to see what they do quarterback-wise. Utah's fine. Florida at 20. I don't know about that. The only reason I don't know about that is because DJ Lagway's gone.
Yeah.
And they got to figure out the quarterback position. Oh, excuse me. Oh, weather outside, I tell you. So, when you look at Oklahoma, now I think RJ Young's got Oklahoma at a decent spot. I think they should be 9.
Also, he went to Oklahoma. Not him.
Yeah,
RJ Young.
yeah. So I think because they do have the return of John Mateer,
It helps.
I think they're a top 10 team. Just
It
like
helps.
Texas A&M, Marcel Reed, they have a top 10 team.
All right, here's a better question for you since he's the Longhorns fan around here. If, given all the trash talking supposedly that Sarkisian's been talking this offseason, from what I understand anyway, if he does not beat Ohio State this time, that will be his third loss to Ohio State in the last 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
Hot seat or not?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think he's on the hot seat in general. I think...
And he has Arch Manning.
You have Arch Manning. You've got this year, Sark, if you're going to talk crap, that's fine. Whatever. But back it up. Back it up. Go get into the college football playoff and make a deep run. I'm not saying he has to win the whole thing, but he's going to have to make a deep run. He's going to have to make a deep run.
Yeah.
But I think he's one of the coaches that's on. Is his seats?
I think he has to beat. Well, we don't want to see it, but he has to beat Ohio State week 2.
Yeah, that's going to be his lock for the lock pick of the year right there, because it's at home. You should win that game at home. But with Julian saying having him experience
and Jeremiah Smith
and road games don't seem to affect Julian saying at all. I don't think that's going to matter.
Michigan didn't even affect him last year.
No, he played very well at Michigan for the most part. So that's RJ Young's top 25. Obviously, we said ESPN's. When we get into the month of August, like I said, when we start changing our show over to football, we should have a more solidified top 25 that we will talk about.
Also, you can go on board with this or not, but I also believe him and I will also try and do like a top 12, for like the playoff purposes.
Yeah, we can. Sure, absolutely. I'm game for that. Any ideas you got, I'm always game for. So that's that. So let's touch on our final subject. I was going to touch on NHL. That was the one thing I was going to touch on, and I forgot. But I'm not worried about it.
It's okay.
So we still have a bunch of remaining free agents, big names. I have them sitting right here in front of me.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up that same list.
So this is off of NFL.com. So I'm going to read you the list of some of these guys. Joey Bosa is the number one free agent right now available. A lot of people think he's going to go to the Cleveland Browns. Which Cleveland could use an edge rusher.
Oh, dude. Can you imagine pairing him up with Myles Garrett?
Right?
That would be almost unfair. But also, he has a history.
AJ Epenesa. Another Buffalo Bill. Former Buffalo Bill. Stephon Diggs, believe it or not, is still but
he's got
outside issues.
Domestic issues.
Yep.
That's all we need to say.
Deebo Samuel is a free agent. I think somehow, some miracle, he winds up back in San Francisco. Somehow, some miracle.
I don't see why he wouldn't.
Offensive guard Kevin Zeitler. Okay. Great job at Tennessee last year blocking for us. I think
you guys probably won't get him back though.
He'll find somewhere to go. Hassan Reddick. Okay. I think if he could put it all together, he could have himself a good year. 37-year-old Cameron Jordan, for the first time in his career, is a free agent.
That's crazy, dude. I'm sure he'll find a 1-year deal somewhere.
And the important number might be 2, as the amount of games that Cam Jordan has missed in his career. 2 in 15 seasons.
That's
durability.
Darren
Waller's on here. Shocked that the Dolphins let him go. I figured the Dolphins would have kept him.
I know.
Trayvon Diggs, no surprise there. Kyle Van Noy. This one I'm kind of surprised by. I figured he would have stayed with the Ravens. Jimmy Garoppolo, there's been a lot of talk around him that he may retire. Taylor Decker, the longtime Lion.
And
Uh-huh.
IO.
Yep. And then, obviously, Jadeveon Clowney. That's it. So, obviously, we talked before about there's obviously more guys. Joel Petonio's still on this list. Those were just the best available.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm trying to think of how I want to put this. When you talk about Joey Bosa, and I think he finally put together, I felt, a really good year last year.
Yeah.
I feel like he needs to fit in. He'll fit in somewhere. Maybe he does go to the Browns. Signs a 1-year deal. Helps Myles Garrett, take pressure off of him.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he can get signed with a team, I think he'll fit in perfectly. So I'm sitting here looking at the Browns, man, and wow, they have a busy offseason.
They have.
They signed fullback Michael Burton, signed free agent Tylan Wallace, signed tight end Jack Stoll. They're acquired and traded with Houston Texans in exchange for a 2026 round pick. Howard signed a new 3-year, $63 million extension with the Texans. Titus Howard. Tevin Jenkins resigns with the Browns, offensive guard. Zion Johnson signs a 3-year, $49.5 million deal out of free agency. Elton Jenkins signed a 2-year, $24 million deal with $20 million guaranteed offensive lineman.
They need a lot of offensive line help.
Jalan Okora re-signed with the team. Or Julian Okora, sorry.
Yeah.
Kyla Davis signed a 1-year, $3 million deal. Sam Kamara re-signed with the Browns, does not say what. Quincy Williams signs a 2-year, $13 million deal with the Browns. Miles Bryant signs a deal with the Browns. Daniel Thomas signs a free agent contract. And then they bring back Corey Bojorquez, a very good punter.
Yeah.
Only Cleveland brings back a punter. Just freaking saying. So I brought the Browns up because, of course, that's his team overall. Now we go to mine. And all of these I did not know they did, but the Titans have been busy. Let's start at the top. We brought in Hendon Hooker. I'm okay with that. We signed Mitchell Trubisky to a 2-year deal. I'm okay with that, too. I think Mitchell Trubisky's a solid quarterback. We signed Michael Carter and Julius Chestnut, both running backs. I know Michael Carter. I don't know Julius Chestnut very well.
Yeah.
Lance McCutcheon signs a 1-year deal. KJ Osborne. And then, obviously, the big ones, Wan'Dale Robinson. Let's see. Daniel Bellinger, Kyle Granson, both tight ends. Both signed deals with the Titans. Austin DeLucas, offensive tackle, signed a deal. Cordell Volson signs a 1-year, $2.5 million deal and has a maximum value of $4.12 million, offensive guard. Austin Schultman signs a 2-year deal worth $9 million. So we needed a center. So I'm glad we got him. We did get Jermaine Johnson for exchange for Javonte Sweat, which was fine because Javonte Sweat wasn't doing anything anyway. We get Jacob Martin, an edge rusher, signs a 1-year or 2-year, $11 million. Jordan Elliott signs with the Titans, defensive end. Obviously, the big one's John Franklin Myers.
Jordan Elliott, I think, used to play for the Eagles, too.
John Franklin Myers is the big one. Signs a 3-year, $63 million deal. That was huge for us. Malik Herring signs a deal, defensive lineman. Solomon Thomas acquired in a trade with Tennessee Titans for a 7th-round pick swap. Mohamed Diabate. I was trying to look at it. Signed with the Titans. Then Cordell Flott. I didn't even know about this one. Signed a 3-year, $45 million deal. Alontae Taylor signs a 3-year, $60 million deal. So we spent some money on our defense.
Yeah, you did.
Joshua Williams signs a 2-year deal. This is all defensive stuff. Let me see. Tony Adams signs a deal. Kicker Joey Sly signs a deal.
Long snapper.
Our long-time long snapper. That's awesome that he signed with us. Morgan Cox. And then we signed our punter, Tommy Townsend. That's pretty good. So let's take a look real quick at the Browns' rivals in the AFC South. North, sorry. Aaron Rodgers, the old fart. Came back for one final season.
Your wife's favorite team, man. I'll never understand.
Right? Rico Dowdle. This one I thought was huge. A 2-year, $12.5 million deal. That was huge. Bring a Rico Dowdle in. Travis Homer signs. That was all offense. Obviously, everybody knows about the Michael Pittman trade.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a big deal.
That pissed off Colts fans quite a bit.
That'll help, though. That'll help. No.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
DK Metcalf.
Yeah, I'll help out Metcalf. Take pressure off.
Jack Driscoll. These are offensive linemen. Ryan McCollum. Two offensive linemen. They re-signed Cameron Hayward. OH. Going to be a future Hall of Famer. Sebastian Joseph Day. Isaiah Loudermilk. Think about that last name for a minute. Let's see. I'm going to see if there's any of these. Oh, the two big ones right here. Jamel Dean and Asante Samuel Jr.
Good grief, man.
And then they signed Chris Boswell.
Your kicker.
To an extension that keeps him under contract for the 2030 season. Well, at least they have a kicker for a while. And then Darnell Savage. That was another big one that I thought. Is there anybody else you want to look at? Anybody?
Who's your guys? Oh, you got to look at your guys' rivals, too, the Jaguars.
Oh, I don't know. Look at the Jaguars. Why do you put me through this freaking torture? They actually don't really have a lot here.
Oh, there you go. There's a short list.
Amir Abdullah, DJ Dallas, Chris Rodriguez Jr., which I knew about. Quentin Morris, Dennis Gardick. Oh, Trayvon Walker.
That was the big one.
Yep.
That was the big one.
That seems to be about it. Montrick Brown.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. And Matt Dickerson.
Yeah. That's all for your
That's
rivals.
pretty much it, you know. My whole AFC South's my rivals. Let's see. This was Kirk Cousins.
Fully guaranteed.
Signed with the Raiders. That's interesting. So, they signed Matt Gay, too, the kicker. Now the Chargers signed Trey Lance. David Njoku. That's huge, man. I'll tell you what. Oh, Dallas Cowboys signed Sam Howell. Re-signed your boy Javonte Williams. They received the franchise tag on George Pickens, but I think that's going to end up being a long-term deal eventually. The big one, they signed Brandon Aubrey to a 4-year, $28 million deal that includes a $20 million guarantee.
Deserves it.
That is hot. Hot. Old man Dalton. Andy Dalton went to the Eagles. Old man Dalton. Hollywood Browns with the Eagles, too. So is Elijah Moore. Dallas Goedert re-signed with the Eagles, too. Nice. Jordan Davis signed a 3-year extension. Man, there are some names on here that...
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, I thought Case Keenum retired. He went to the Chicago Bears, believe it or not. But I just like doing this because this is still that time of the year where we're still kind of we're figuring out where everybody's going to go, where everybody's going to settle down.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets interesting as we are going to get deeper and deeper in the offseason. You know, injuries are going to happen, especially as we get in training camp. And I know, obviously, right now they're on voluntary mini camp. A lot of them guys ain't going to show up to that. The voluntary workouts, a lot of them ain't going to show up to that, especially the veterans.
Right.
But obviously, we'll keep an eye, like we like to call it, free agent tracker. So that's all I want to touch on. So that's it. So that's it for everything we want to touch on. We're going to come back and we're going to get stuff started. Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the show yet. This is just touching, okay? 49 minutes in, and we have not even gotten to the big part of the show yet, okay? When we come back, this is where we get kind of serious. When we come back, I have volunteered to lead things off this week. Kyle Busch tribute, and we'll talk NASCAR coming up. We'll be right back.